welcome to the edition of our show. Anyway, is business, as we always say, and business means money, stability, and business, and a lot more mean a lot of money, and mean, of course, business. We have just finished, actually, the world, from attending the COP26. The temperatures are getting higher and higher in the whole world, and this is a very grave thing. What happened? What's going on? What's happening in Egypt? We're talking energy, what should be done. This is all what we're going to be talking about. But before delving into anything, I'd like to introduce our guest, who's going to be discussing a lot of what's going on in the world, what's going on in Egypt, what's going on in Africa. We have with us Dr. Wael Nashar, international expert on solar energy. Welcome, sir, with us. Pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Well, just, we'll go for a short break, after which we'll be returning back, starting our talk. So stay tuned to us. Don't go away. We're coming back in a moment.
The head of the Suez Canal Authority, Osama Rabia, said the authority decided to increase the fees for ships transiting the canal in 2022 by 6% compared to 2021. He added in a statement that the increase will be implemented from next February and will not include liquefied natural gas tankers or cruise ships. Rabia stressed the authority's keenness to implement a balanced and flexible pricing and marketing strategy that achieves the interests of the authority and its customers and takes into account global economic conditions and their various variables. The quarterly bulletin of the industrial production statistics in Egypt showed that the value of industrial production increased by 7.1% during the second quarter of last year, 2020, compared to the same quarter of 2019, to reach £333.5 billion, up from £313.2 billion. The bulletin issued by the Central Agency for Public Mobilization and Statistics indicated that the value of industrial production without extracting and refining crude oil amounted to £182.2 billion during the second quarter, compared to £163.8 billion, an increase of 11.3%. The Industrial Development Authority has issued terms of reference for the establishment of 6 projects for the production of billet, sponge iron, and iron pellets. The offering includes 6 licenses with production capacities of 1.3 million tons of billet, 2.5 million tons of sponge iron, and 16 million tons of iron pellets. The iron and steel industry is considered one of the pivotal strategic industries, which is one of the most important pillars of the national economy and the balance of payments. It also provides more than 30,000 direct job opportunities in addition to thousands of indirect job opportunities. The Chinese government called on its people to stock up on food and create food reserves at a time when it's trying to combat the limited spread of the epidemic, which disrupts transportation on one hand and face its lack of energy on the other hand. The world is suffering from crises in the rise of the prices of food commodities and is witnessing a violent energy crisis that has resulted in fluctuations and price increases in oil prices, and China is one of the largest consumers of food and energy dependent in the world. The Bank of England defied market expectations by keeping interest rates on hold, putting concerns about slowing growth above expectations of higher inflation. The Bank of England kept the possibility of monetary policy tightening alive soon, saying it may have to raise the bank interest rate from an all-time low of 0.1% over the coming months if the economy performs as expected. Morocco has announced that the kingdom will allocate about 1.6 billion US dollars in a program to generate wind energy. The Moroccan Ministry of Foreign Affairs indicated in a statement that Morocco plans to raise its contribution from renewable energies in the energy mix to 52% by the year 2030. The ministry stated that Morocco has managed in recent years to achieve a set of gains in the environmental field through a number of projects and programs that have strengthened its presence at the international level in this field. American wheat futures prices rose to their highest levels in 8.5 years, supported by strong demand on the back-tight global supplies. The rise in wheat prices came after a wave of deals in the export market, most notably a huge deal of 1.3 million tons purchased by Saudi Arabia. Prices on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange reached their highest level since January 2013, while prices on the Paris Euronext Stock Exchange rose to their highest level in 13.5 years. Investment Bank of America has improved its forecast for oil prices in 2022, and the bank now expects oil prices to rise in the middle of next year to $120 a barrel. The bank pointed out that the global energy crisis led to a sharp rise in gas and coal prices around the world, which contributes to a rapid recovery in oil futures prices.
We're back again to Money Means Business with our guest, Dr. Wael Nashar, international expert on solar energy. Welcome, sir, with us.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know how to start, but a lot has been happening, and I mean, I'm the person who just feels the heat quickly, and then talking about rising temperatures in the whole world. This is really scary. COP26 just finished, and President Sisi took part in it and went there. Beforehand, they were just talking about that. But then they are club, like in Europe and all in America and then they're the ones who are mainly and directly responsible for what happens or what's happening right now in the world and degradation that is taking place and the rising heat. But we are bearing the brunt for that. So, well, what are the repercussions, let's say, or the results of the COP26 meetings, conference? And then, we delve into the more complicated things, like and the solar energy and the clean energy and a lot more that we are supposed to be using here and we're abiding by in Egypt.
Okay. Let's start by agreeing with you that we're not the reasons of the climate change.
Yeah.
Let me put some numbers here. Egypt in 2017 was responsible about producing approximately 250 million tons of carbon in 2017 and reduced this number to 211 million tons in 220. We are in the 27th position ranking of the whole world in the production of the carbon. But this is in the total.
Yeah.
Per capita, we're much far less. We're producing approximately 0.6% of the whole carbon dioxide that is happening worldwide. The problem here is that yes, we're not the reason of this climate change, but we are very much affected with it.
Definitely.
We have some studies that showing that we have erosion of the northern coast of our of
Yeah.
Egypt.
Especially they talk about Alexandria.
Yes,
specifically.
most of the northern coast
Yeah.
up to the delta.
And that's because of climate change.
Yes. The climate change, of course, will increase the temperature. Like
Yeah.
you see it now. You don't see winter anymore.
Yeah.
It's much less. And this will increase the temperature, which will affect the agriculture activities in
Definitely.
whole. It will increase the diseases
Yeah.
as an overall on the and
Yeah.
means the general health will be less.
Definitely.
And of course, increasing the temperature will require more energy to adapt the humans to this increase of temperature.
Of course.
Yes, we are not the reason of the increase, but we are very much affected, and we can be a solution to this problem
Mhm.
with the climate we have,
Yeah.
the sun insulation we have. We can produce more renewable, not only on the solar, but also as wind, biogas. All this kind of renewable can be produced in Egypt. We can be part of the solution to help all other, like the European. As you know, that the USA and China and European Union are the most countries that are contributing to the climate change. So yes, we are not the reason. Yes, we are affected, but also we can be the solution for these problems.
Definitely. Sir, well, we do have here, of course, relationships with Africa, and because since we are Africans and we're sharing the OAU last year and all that, well, and we are right now, like looking for ways for clean energy, not to contribute to the heat, the rising heat or rising temperatures. Of course, we are aware of that. With the solar energy that we have here, first, like I said, this is very costly, and it goes on very big surfaces, not a small one, so it's not as easy as we think that I'll put something on the top of my building and then this will generate solar energy. But far more than that, and we do have the sun, we do have a lot. What's going on here?
Okay, let me correct one of the
Definitely,
statements
go
here.
ahead, please, yes.
Solar energy are not expensive than the fossil
Okay.
fuel.
Mhm.
For the last 3-4 years, the solar energy is much less than the fossil fuel.
Okay.
It does not require. It does require a space, yes, but it does not require as much space as you can imagine.
Okay.
In 2014, Egypt has made new legislation for using the solar energy in Egypt. This legislation was encouraging the investors, local and foreigners, to invest in solar energy. The first stage was to install 2,000 megawatt peak as a utility scale, and 300 megawatt peak as small and medium systems.
Yeah.
Medium systems, yes. In 2019, we have reached the stage was it was done on 2 stages, 2014, and this is stage number 1, and second stage was in 2016 to install a solar system. In Bimban, we have installed, this is the third biggest power plant using solar in the world. The first one in Africa. And if you increase, there is a negotiation now about 200 megawatt to be installed over the installed capacity now, which is the installed now is 1,465 megawatt.
Yeah.
And if you install the 200 megawatt, it will be 1,865. That will be one of the biggest in the whole world. In the plus the small and medium, which was around 120 megawatt. This is the numbers up to now. That means we have an installed capacity of around 1,600 megawatt of solar energy installed in Egypt. Still, we have a strategic vision to reach 20% by year 2022, and 42% of renewable, the whole renewable, which mean hydraulic, wind and solar by 2035.
Yeah.
We still have a long way to go. The solar energy now share in the energy is about 2.5%, producing around 200 terawatt hour per year. We will reach we hope that we reach the figures in the solar energy, but I wanted to comment over the prices. Anyone now in 2016, there was a new legislation of net metering. That means anyone can install a solar system either on his house, company, commercial mall. You can install a solar system and make, the standard meter now is calculating only the consumption.
Okay.
After you install a solar system and make a contract of net metering, we change the meter. There is a dual meter. The dual meter is calculating consumption, which is the normal, and production of solar, and then you pay the balance of the consumption minus the production. The ROI, the return on investment on a solar system now is between 4 to 6 years. That means you can install a solar system and you will have your money back within 4 to 6 years, depending on the tariff you're using.
Definitely. Maybe because this is a bit confusing for some people. It's like, now we're paying electricity, and Egypt now, is after there were shortages, outages, is exporting electricity, so it's good. There's we do have a surplus, but then there are prices of electricity that is rising. Then with solar energy, how do we just do that? Do they just tell people it's like, if I use a mirror that or solar energy, then that will decrease the money I'm paying for energy for electricity every month?
Yes, this is the idea. You invest in solar.
Yeah.
That means you will save your monthly invoice at the end of the month.
Okay, but how to do that?
You just install a solar system. You go to one of the pre-qualification companies in there is a list on REA, the New Renewable Energy Authority.
Okay.
There is a list of authorized companies who can install a solar system for anyone, either residential or commercial. And then we change the meter.
Okay. And it will depend on the solar energy.
It will depend on the solar energy, and you pay only the difference between your consumption and the production. This is called the net meter.
And this is really great. But are people aware? Like wasn't aware that I could do this. This will save me the amount, especially during the summer when where there is you're depending on the air conditions, all that is really consuming a lot of electricity, and mix, of course, it's just the prices.
The idea is also that you can the production is accumulated. That means if you produce this month more than what you use, it will be accumulated to the next month. That means you are saving all the time. This is why I'm saying you will have residential installation of solar system only happens, only visible in the 6th and the 7th grading. There is 7 categories in this for residential. On the 6th and the 7th, this is very feasible. On the commercial, it's very feasible. On the industrial application also, it is very feasible.
Do we have to do it for the whole building, or like a
No, you do it per meter. Per each meter.
Okay.
Every meter you can install a solar system on it. You have to go first to a pre-qualified company. It will install the solar system for you. It will get you a contract there is a contract between you and the electricity company, and then you pay only the difference at the end of each month.
And that saves a lot of money paid to the... Yes. Well, that's wonderful. I'll start doing this.
This program is has started in 2017, still valid until now.
How many people, how many households are just using that? Or just, going, know about this and go to qualified companies in order to change the meter and use solar energy?
I think, as I said, there is around 150 to 160 megawatt installed of the net meter outside Bimban. This is according to electricity companies. We still have around 100 megawatt to install this. The numbers are not very clear until now, but usually our customers are the 6th and the 7th category of the electricity bills.
But there are no outages or something. It's like because it's
No,
something
it's not related to the outage. This is a solar system where you actually producing the electricity directly to the grid. You don't store.
Yeah.
So if there is an electricity cut, the system will cut.
Oh, okay.
Will be down.
Yeah.
It's not related to the
anything like
cut-offs.
that.
No.
Well, this is really wonderful. Well, we go for a short break with a report, of course, electricity, all that, and then we'll come back to you. Stay tuned to us, don't go away.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi participated in the tripartite summit between Egypt, Greece and Cyprus in its 9th round within the framework of the tripartite cooperation mechanism between the three countries that was launched in 2014. The summit dealt with the mechanism of tripartite cooperation in the sectors of energy, gas, electricity, tourism, transport, agriculture and others, emphasizing the existence of promising prospects for strengthening cooperation between the three countries in a number of other vital sectors such as the environment and confronting the phenomena of climate change. The fields of natural gas are among the most important links between Egypt, Greece and Cyprus, especially with the three countries seeking to establish the Eastern Mediterranean Gas Forum, which works to link the three countries along with 4 other countries, namely Israel, Palestine, Jordan and Italy. The East Mediterranean Gas Forum strengthened the link between countries in the field of natural gas and its transfer to Egypt, which in turn would receive the gas, liquefy it and export it again abroad and to the European market. And not only natural gas, which links economic cooperation between the three countries, there is also the bilateral electrical linkage between Egypt and Cyprus, which comes within the framework of the tripartite cooperation between Egypt, Greece and Cyprus, where the three countries are keen to develop different scenarios for issues of access to the European network. The leaders of the three countries witnessed the signing ceremony of 2 agreements for electrical interconnection and cooperation in the field of expatriates at the conclusion of the tripartite summit between Egypt, Cyprus and Greece, which was held in the Greek capital, Athens. The first agreement on cooperation in the field of cross-border electrical interconnection was signed by Dr. Mohammed Shakir, Minister of Electricity and New and Renewable Energy, Minister of Energy and Environment of Greece, and Minister of Trade and Industry of Cyprus. During the joint press conference with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the Cypriot President, the Greek Prime Minister stressed that Egypt can play a pivotal role in terms of energy security for Europe, especially during the massive turmoil currently taking place in the energy market. The Greek Prime Minister also stressed the pursuit of diversifying energy sources, and this would make Egypt the main supplier of electric energy from solar energy and through Greece to Europe. On the other hand, Karim Kamel, a writer and researcher in political affairs, said that the visit represents a strategic importance for the three countries in the military, water and tourism sectors, as well as the oil and gas sector. He also stressed that the Egyptian-Greek-Cypriot relations are not new today, but go back to long decades, as a large Egyptian community lives in Greece and another in Cyprus, and these communities have contributed to the development of relations through their projects and residence for decades. In light of the good relations between Egypt and Greece, the value of trade between the two countries jumped to a record $1.126 billion during the first 7 months of 2021, compared to $590,417 billion during the same period in 2020, with a growth of 90.7%. Data from the Central Agency for Public Mobilization and Statistics showed that the value of trade between Egypt and Greece increased by 13.6% during July to reach $128,242 million compared to $112,863 million in July 2020. At the end of his visit to Greece, President el-Sisi participated in a group commemorative photo with the leaders of the two countries on the occasion of the convening of the tripartite summit between Egypt, Greece, and Cyprus in its 9th round in Athens, and as an expression of the continuing distinguished relationship between the three countries.
We're back again to Money Means Business and with our guest, Dr. Wael Nashar. And we've been talking about clean energy, we've been talking about solar energy, and how our target is definitely to reach in the year 2022, we should be reaching 20% of usage or coverage, and by the year 2035, 45% are reaching that. What are the challenges facing us in order to reach our goals? First, please explain the goals that we're supposed to be reaching.
Okay, we have, according to the vision of 2035, we have to reach 42% of renewable, which wind and solar and hydro, by 2035. Plus, we need to reach 20% of this goal by 2022, next year. What we have now is the hydro is around 7%. We have the solar and the wind around 3%.
Yeah.
So we still have a long way to go. So we need to work a lot to on the challenges we're facing to improve our solar in solar
energy, or
yes,
definitely, yeah. Definitely.
But before we go to the challenges, I would like to address the different mechanism of solar energy that
Yes.
we can use in
Definitely,
Egypt.
definitely.
The first one was we have made in legislation in 2014 was the feed-in tariff, where you can install a solar system. This is Bimban and other projects that has used this scheme, where you can install a solar system, and all your electricity is generated to the national grid, and then you get paid at the end of the month. You get paid actual payment at the end of the month. This scheme was changed to another one, which is one of the main schemes well known over the world for solar energy, which is the net meter. The net meter is working now from 2017 up till now. There is another scheme, which is the self-consumption, where you can install a solar system over a building or your house, but you don't export the extra energy to the grid. You only use it for yourself. You don't export it. This is called self-consumption. The last one is the independent power producer, IPP, where you can produce in one location and the usage is in another location, and you use the national grid to transport this energy through the cables, through the national grid, and the electricity company would take a wheeling charges for this. These are the four main schemes. It's worth mentioning that Egypt has done in the last 5 years a great effort in optimizing the power plant that has been working now. As I said, we have reduced the fuel consumption for each 1 kilowatt hour from 220 grams of equivalent fuel to 180, which is a very big saving. Also, we as you know, each 1 kilowatt hour would, if you don't generate it by normal fossil fuel, you would save 400 grams of carbon dioxide. This is a lot of, so increasing the solar energy and wind energy, this would contribute to not only to the environment but also to our economy.
No, this is really great.
We are facing a lot of challenges
Yeah.
here as solar companies, especially solar, because the wind requires utility scale. In solar, first of all, for the small and medium, because solar is not the big like the Bimban, but there's also small and medium, which we're talking about, residential 10 kilowatt, 15, 20, for commercial 100 kilowatt, 200, 500 kilowatt. The first challenge was the finance, and still the finance. The finance banks are considering small and medium systems with high risk. That means it gets high interest. On the other hand, the utility scale, they consider lower risk. Then, therefore, they get very, very low interest. Plus, they can get a foreign investor from outside.
Yeah.
So, if we don't find new programs for the finance of the solar, for the solar system, this usually it decrease our chances and the chances of the end customer to install a solar system, because of the high interest, and he would pay a lot more as a financial burden on him. The second challenge is the education and the media.
Yeah.
As you started, we don't know about this. Yes, many people don't know that you can install a solar system.
And they keep, complaining about the prices of energy, about electricity that's getting higher. So
Yes.
this is like a scare.
Yes. So media has to do a lot of work to
In order to explain to them how even to
educate
get
the people what is solar, how we can use it, when we can use it, because we don't use it usually an electricity bill that is less than 1,500 per month is not feasible to use solar. You have to be higher than this.
Yeah.
So the minimum to use solar in a residential is 1,500 per month. Otherwise, it's not feasible.
How do we know that?
From your electricity bill.
Oh, okay.
You get your electricity bill every month.
Okay.
If you
So
pay
it
more,
says- okay.
if you pay more than 1,500 Egyptian pound, then solar is your best solution.
Oh, definitely, definitely. We
Okay.
all pay, especially in the summer, with the air conditioning system and all that. It just makes us pay a lot, especially with the prices. The trenches, and this system, makes us go to a higher trench and then, of course, pay more.
Yes. So if you are around 20,000, minimum 20,000 per year,
Yeah.
then solar is a good solution for you. Another problem is the policies. You have to have a fixed policy.
Yeah.
In 2014, we have started with very ambitious program. Until now, we only have less than 2,000 megawatt. We still have to work on the procedures, because it's changed a lot,
Yeah.
especially in electricity companies. They're changing the procedures a lot. They are not fixed in all on the electricity company. If you go to company X, it's completely different procedure than another company Y. So we have to make a standard contract, templates. It has to be standard. Also, the competition with the authorization that give the license.
Yeah.
It's not logical that I see one of the electricity company competing with solar companies.
In the same country, we do have this.
Yes, we do have this problem. Yes,
Yeah,
one of the electricity company would go to a customer against a private sector company who is. This electricity company is giving the license to the private sector company to install a solar system. In the same time, they can go to the customer and offer him to install a solar system. This should not happen. So we need to have a standard procedure, policies that are.
It governs that and solves this.
Yes, yes. These are the main challenges we're facing.
Yeah.
And last year we faced a major problem when the Egypt ERA, which is the regulator of electricity in Egypt, has issued a periodic letter of new regulations, number 2, dated 2020, this regulation have made all the market upside down. It
Yeah.
has mixed up all the mechanism I have just explained to you, the feed-in tariff with
Yeah.
the self-consumption, with the with the net metering, with the IPP. They all mix it together. They has to isolate each scheme by itself.
Yeah.
So people would know if I would like to go to a self-consumption or I would go to net metering. So these are the main challenges we're facing. I hope we're working with we're one of the founding members of CEDA Association was for solar energy, and we're working closely with them, with the government to resolve these issues. Also, I'm a member of the committee of with Al Ahram for strategic studies. We're working on a plan for the Egypt vision for the transformation of energy by 2030. So hopefully things will resolve by soon.
Soon,
inshallah.
hopefully.
Hopefully, inshallah.
We'll go for a short break, and as the short break, I will be back in a moment. Stay tuned to us, don't go away. Come back to you. Again, to Money Based Business with our guest, Dr. Wael Naushar, and well, all is interlinked, and we have also, I remember, as I told you, before the show that I covered actually, and in special episodes, the national and supposedly should have gone to be international grid. Electricity grid that was binding all Egypt Sinai to the rest of the country, and linking it to Jordan and linking it to Spain and Morocco and the other countries. So what happened in that? That was during the time of Electricity Minister Maher Abaza. What's happened and what's happening right now? Are we building on this? What happened?
Connecting projects in Egypt has started a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was based on our national grid. Our national grid now is very good, and you can connect it to many other countries. What we have now is the very old connection to Jordan,
Yeah.
which I think they are going to extend it to Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq. We have another connection to Sudan, which should connect to Africa. We have another connection to the west, to Libya, which they should connect to Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. We have two new projects now under development, which the one going to Saudi Arabia, which should connect to again to the Gulf area, plus the new signed agreement, I think 1 week or 2 weeks ago, between Egypt to Cyprus, which is going to connect to Cyprus and then to Greece, and then it goes to Europe. So this is very good because this will connecting projects, energy connecting projects are very good to stabilize the network. It also utilizes the resources of each country. You don't have to shut down, to have extra power plants in your area to accommodate the unexpected or the unexpected loads if it happens suddenly.
Yeah.
It can work between countries. That means if I have extra, I would give it to Europe. If they have extra, they would
So
give
the
it to me.
barter system. Okay.
It's like the net meter project, but on huge huge size. Also, it can utilize the difference peak times. For example, Saudi Arabia its peak starts at 8. Well, it starts here after 1 or 2 hours after Saudi. So it's very good to start this. Also, it utilize the resources of each country. That means if a country like Saudi is rich in oil, that means its power plants would be in oil. We don't have to install power plants here in oil. We can install it in solar or wind. And if at night we need electricity, we get it from from Saudi or from Europe. It's very good for utilization of resources, and also good for not investing more on a backup power plants in any of the countries.
So it's amazing. I was just thinking while you were talking, and you said it. Now, if can I depend on solar energy, for example, if we have, well, you know, we do have, you know, like different sources, but if you like we depend mainly on solar energy, then you know the power that is going to be exported is going to be from solar energy, right?
Solar and wind are not continuous.
Okay.
You cannot use it for 24 hours.
Okay.
Solar, it's only for daytime, and wind, there is only when there is wind. Okay. But yes, Egypt can be only using solar and wind, because all the power, even if there is extra, we can send it, we can export it to the other countries like Europe. Plus, if I need energy at night, I will get it from any other place. Let me give you an example of why we should be the hub of using solar.
Yes.
A solar system in Egypt, 1 kilowatt, would produce 1,800 kilowatt hour per year. Same system, if installed in Germany, it would produce around 1,100 kilowatt hour per year. That means we are producing more than 70% extra energy on
Than Germany, for
than
instance.
Germany on the same capex,
Yes.
on the same investment.
Yes.
That means if Germany, for example, would like to make an investment to reduce its carbon dioxide, because it has to do it according to their new treaties and new COP 26.
26, yeah.
Okay, so they can install it in Egypt with less money.
Okay.
Okay, this is the idea. If I want to install, if let's say Germany would like to install a wind system, it would do it here, or any other countries. That means we can be central of renewable. And
That's the hub, you know, like that you're talking about. This
yes,
is wonderful.
if there is a 30%, as we say now, extra or spare power, we have these spare power can be exported to other country in return when there is extra power, extra energy required, we will get it through the same lines. So it's very good idea. We should develop and progress in this as quickly as possible.
Exactly. Well, we have the last 1 minute, so the future, how do you see it? Of course, if we cross the challenges, if we manage to solve them.
If we cross the challenges, everything will be good.
Okay, but
So,
still with the challenges, what can we do?
I think the challenges is they are very easy to handle.
Okay.
It's not that we're asking for the impossible. We're asking for fixing the policies, same contracts, same procedures everywhere, fair competition, and it's I mean free market for the energy. This is one of the issues that there is a legislation in 2015 for the freeing the energy market. It's not implemented until now. We need to implement this.
Exactly.
Implementation of free market for the energy would maximize the use of the energy for the users, for the producers, and also for the government. The government would stop investing in new power plants. That means it saved money.
Exactly.
And then at the end it buys from the, it procure its energy from the private sector with an agreed price before. So it's not like a monopoly, but it's a contract.
And it's easy to bridge.
It's a win-win situation for
exactly.
for
Dr.
everyone.
Walid Nasser, thank you very much for being with us. So it's a pleasure
Thank you.
having you. So and we'll meet you, to see
Inshallah.
how things are just done. Thank you for being there. I'd like to thank our viewers for being there. We'll see you again next week. As for now, God bless Egypt, God bless Egyptians, God bless our army, our white army, our police, and our president. And as I quote from the Holy Quran, inshallah, aminin, enter Egypt, God willing, safe. And from the Holy Bible, Mubarak, Sha'bi Misr, blessed be Egypt, my people. I'm Nermin Nazim signing off. I'll see you again next week.